Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second virtual information session. Welcome. And we usually do this live in person in campus, and you get to see the X-ray room and the classroom. I did take some pictures. There's a minimal amount of pictures of our X-ray machines that we have for you all. And we usually go through the PowerPoint and then answer any specific questions that you may have. All right. Okay. All right. So first slide. I hope you can all see that. If you can't see it, please write it in the chat that you're not able to see it. Okay. All right. I am Cheryl Cashel, and Kathleen Rodriguez, who is on also, is our administrative assistant, and she will act as your registrar for the radiography component only, not for any of your prerequisites, but she will try to keep you on track with what classes you need. So those of you, she probably recognizes a good number of your names, and some of you who she has never met, definitely reach out to her, and she will be able to look up your courses and how far along you are and what you need to take. We also have Camila Gonzalez, who is a senior student, on hand to answer any questions later if you have any from someone who's actually in the program right now. As far as the other staff, we have Inez Cruz. She is new. We have Sean Segru. He is in charge of clinical. He teaches also. We have Angela Crosgile. She is a teaching adjunct. And then we have two clinical adjuncts, Manuel Livingston and Joanne Durney, and they'll work with you in the department, similar to how the radiology staff works with you. All right. So what is radiography? When I started out, I actually thought it was, I was taking the x-rays, which is right. And I also thought that it was reading the x-rays, which it is not. We are the photographer of the human body, and then the doctor actually reads it, or he's the film critic. And radiography does require some technical skill and patient care skills. So it's a good combination of, patient care and the technology part of it, where it allowed to also do some medical assisting work, depending on where you work. Okay. You need a chest x-ray, an abdomen x-ray, you'll go to the hospital or an outpatient center or an urgent care center, and they'll take an image of your body using a machine, and they'll look at what's inside of you. That's really what it is, but you have to be able to communicate to patients and make them feel a little bit better. We try to help you with that. Some people will be naturally customer service related. Other people will have to learn how to become more enabled with customer service. Okay. Frequently asked questions. What does the job entail? You do have to touch patients. So you're going to be touching people. Some technologists will wear gloves. Patients are gowned. So they're clothed. They're just wearing hospital garb, and you'll move them around. You'll ask them to move around. Okay. It is hands-on. No different than, people go into massage therapy and they decide they don't like it because they didn't realize they had to touch people. Radiography, you do have to touch people and interact with them. Okay. Is it for you? It can be for anyone. Okay. It's not just a job. Okay. High tech, high touch profession. The technology now, if everything is digital, computerized, so it's really pretty amazing. And, as far as this professionalism, commitment to lifelong learning, we are required to maintain, just like every other healthcare profession, a certain level of yearly credits, whether it's taking exams, going to conferences, that we need to do. It's that kind of commitment. Yes, Kathy?
I just wanted to, maybe if you can just speak a little bit more about, someone's asking if you will teach them how to read the x-rays as well?
You won't learn how to read them as a radiologist. You'll be able to learn to read them enough to know, is it a satisfactory x-ray or do I need to do something else? Do I have both joints on? Is there motion? Am I missing the end of a surgical area that I need to take another one? Is the patient in the right position? You will not be learning to read it for diagnosis. That is what a physician, a radiologist does. I hope I answered that question. Okay. Okay, can I do 2 careers at one time? Many of our students work. Some of them work almost full time, whether it's an overnight shift, okay? Your school needs to be a priority as far as good grades and going to clinical, okay? To graduate, obviously you need to pass your classes, but the state and the federal government requires a certain number of exams to be done, which the students work on when they're at the hospitals. It is a little bit challenging right now with COVID. Camilla could mention it later that, they've missed some clinical time due to being pulled out of the hospitals at the beginning, and we didn't get them back in until November. So, some students worked a lot more because they knew when we were going to get back into the clinical sites that they would have to devote more time to that. So that's definitely important. You need to make sure your family backs you because it really is a Monday through Friday program. You'll have classes a couple days a week, and you'll have clinical the other days of the week. Okay, but it can be done. It's just that you really need to make sure you have good grades. You must have an 80 for passing for us. Anything below that is considered failing. But just because you get a 79 on one test doesn't mean you're out. This is at the end of the semester, and there's enough exams and quizzes to actually help you maintain a good grade and retain the information. Do you really want to do this? Okay, your friends think you'll be great at it, but is your heart really in it? Okay. If this isn't something you're truly interested in, then you shouldn't be doing it. In the past, we have definitely had students who, went into this not sure if they wanted it, and in the end, they're very glad that they came in. It's a great profession. You can take it all over the country. You can work day shift, night shift. There's really a lot of opportunity for growth, okay? So, it's definitely something to do, and you can go into other areas. If it isn't something that you're interested in, then you should, think about something else. We've had students come to us that want the program, and then as it draws closer, they realize that they want something else in healthcare. Okay. Do I have the fortitude to do this? Okay. Yes, you all do, but you have to put in the work. Some people are naturally organized. Other people are naturally able to retain the information. Some people need to study. As long as you just stay focused and read each week's information and just build on it and build on it, you should be okay. Is it hard? Yes and no. Okay. It isn't, as this says, going to be a breeze. Okay. You do have to put work in. At the end, there is a national exam that you need to take, and we need to make sure that you pass that. So we cover a lot of information, and most students do well and are able to get it. So as long as you just keep plugging away and studying and staying focused, you should be good. Kathy, is this where you take over now?
Yes. I just wanted to address a few questions that may have come through while you were speaking.
Okay.
So let's see here. The cost of the program will be coming up on the slide, so that will be something that we can address then. And then we'll speak about unofficial transcripts or official transcripts from other colleges, what you would do with that. So I'll pick up from here. Thanks, Ms. Cashel.
You're welcome.
Radiography. It is a 24-month straight 2-year program. You'll be going through the summer. You'll be here always with us for 2 years. Monday through Friday, daytime only, meaning 7:30 a.m. until 3 o'clock p.m. No, 2:30 p.m., sorry, or 3 o'clock. Class size is limited to 18 students right now. We're not sure if COVID would affect that, but we accept 18 students every year. Admission is very competitive. The admission criteria is a minimum of a 2.5 GPA. Obviously, the higher, the better. There will be an entrance exam. You can opt to take either the TEAS test or the SATs. It's your choice, whichever one you want. We'll go into it in further detail what the difference is between both of them. You'll be having a criminal background check and a drug screening clearance. We will give you information on how to proceed with that. How critical are math skills to this profession, Ms. Cashel?
For the program, we will teach you math, and there is a lot of math. Your national exam will probably have, it's a 200 question test. We'll probably have anywhere from 3 to 7 math problems on it. If you're not good at algebra, that's fine, because we teach the math a quicker, shorter way that is more similar to what they learn in radiation therapy. So if you can just follow the steps, you'll be fine. Okay. And then once you graduate and take the registry, believe it or not, you'll be able to do the math in your head almost intuitively based on the theory. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Cashel.
You're welcome.
Okay, continuing with the slide here. So here you can see the prerequisite courses you will be required to successfully complete before you can enter our program. It's the top 33 credits. You need to worry about those top 11 courses. So for example, the college student success, moving on down to English Comp 1 and 2, and speech, and so forth. Those top 11 courses you must successfully complete, and by successfully we mean no grade lower than a C, before you can start our program. The bottom portion is just the courses you would be taking in the radiography program once you're in. Right now, everyone should be focusing on the top area. Those are your prerequisites. Next slide. Okay, so once you graduate, you'll receive an associate's in science with a total of 63 credits. Our radiography program is held in the F building in Journal Square. That's where you will be. There is no North Hudson campus at the moment, so you will have to come to the F building in Journal Square. Again, it's 5 days a week. Your first year, you can expect to be in the class Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You will start your clinicals Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:30 till 3. Your second year, your last year, you're a senior student. You'll be in classes Tuesdays and Thursdays and clinical Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it sort of flips around. Next slide. Mock schedule. So this is what your life will be like in the radiography program, your first year. So you can look, your first year, you're a junior. In the fall, you'll be Monday class, Tuesday clinical, Wednesday class, Thursday clinical, Friday class. Same thing will happen for the next semester, spring. And remember, summer, you're with us straight for 2 years. Next slide. Your second year, it flips. So now it's clinical class, clinical class, clinical. Again, fall, spring, summer. Next slide. We currently have 4 sites that we rotate our students through. They rotate through Hoboken University Medical Center, Bayonne, Christ Hospital, and Richmond University Medical Center in Staten Island. You will have to rotate through all of these hospitals. Students are responsible for finding your own transportation to the clinical sites on time. So 7:30, you're in clinical till 3. At the very bottom, please make sure you remember, you do not get to choose which site you would like to go to. That does not happen. We will rotate you equally throughout all of them while you're in the program for the 2 years. And I think we took some slides, right, Ms. Some pictures of our lab room here coming up next.
Yes.
You can explain those, Ms. Casher, what they are?
Okay, so this is a portable x-ray unit. As you can see, there are wheels, okay? So you can actually drive this through the hallways up to a patient's room, and there's an x-ray tube. I don't know if you can see me circling it with the mouse. There's an x-ray tube that you'll go into the patient's room, position this. You will take a image receptor, what captures the picture on them, similar to like, you know, a camera, and you'll take your x-ray and then bring the machine back downstairs and process your image. So we have one of these. It does not take x-rays. They have deactivated that. And the reason that they have deactivated that is so that the students can use it without supervision. So students can go in and kind of drive it around if they so wish to. This is the hallway right outside of our x-ray room. We also have a radiographic unit, okay? This is the table, the x-ray tube, and I put the skeleton in front of our upright bucky or film holder, and you can practice in here. And this is similar to the machines that you would encounter in the department along with the mobile unit. We also have a C-arm, which is used in operative studies. So you can actually practice on this before you actually go to the OR, and we can actually perform labs on you in the classroom without, you know, you worrying about having a doctor, you know, saying, you know, get in here and move the machine, or worried about the fact that, you know, you might only have 15 minutes to use it because they're going to take it to the OR. So this is an operative. This would do live imaging, and this would do like a photograph, a static image. Okay. All right. Back to you, Kathy.
Thank you. So the big question, I think we had an attendee, Alice, asking, how much is the radiography program? So approximately, this is an approximation, please. For the 2 years that you're in the program, it will roughly be about $24,500, let's say. Fees are subject to change, but it's roughly about $24,500 for the 2 years. Next slide. Apart from the tuition, you will and should expect to pay out-of-pocket fees for the following, I guess, listed items here. The entrance exam we spoke about is the TEAS test. It's about $110 right now. It was lower, but because of the whole COVID, you're able to take the TEAS exam, the entrance exam, from your home. So the price did increase a little bit. And there's the option also, you can take the SATs as well, roughly about $56. The books, that's what they cost about for the 2 years that you're in the program. Usually we'll have you buy everything the first year, and it'll last you 2 years. So that's an approximate amount. You can always buy the books cheaper if you can find them online. You can buy used books, whatever works out for you best. There's uniforms you will need to purchase as well, approximately $250. We will give you the information of where you would purchase your uniform, the color, the logo, everything must be the way we present it to you. The security background check, we will tell you where to have that done. It's approximately $50 if you're a New Jersey resident. If you have a married name or a second name, it will cost a little more. If you've lived outside of the state of New Jersey, you will pay a little higher. Just be aware of that. Next slide, please. The drug screening, you will have to do that, and we will tell you where you go for that. So it happens in July when you're accepted. So those who are getting ready to be accepted, you will be having your drug screening in July. It's approximately $62. Again, we will tell you where to go. And again, you'll have it before you enter your last year in the program. There's malpractice insurance, $45 a year, so you'll pay that twice. There's a immunization records that you'll have to have done as well. Make sure all your immunizations are up to date, flu and hepatitis shots and so forth. I just put $100 approximately. I don't know what your insurance or your PCP charges for that. Health insurance, it's a must. You must have health insurance in this program. We'll ask you to present us with a copy of your valid health insurance card, front and back. We'll accept Medicaid. We'll accept charity care. We do not care what it is, as long as you're medically covered. You'll need to present that when you're accepted to the program. Next slide. These are all fees that we're just listing for you at the end. At the end, I guess you can just tally them all up and know how much you'll have to be ready to come out of pocket for all of these fees. CPR is something that you'll have to have. I'm not sure, are we still going to provide that certification? It depends on the COVID, Ms. Kenshel.
If the college will offer the course, they usually charge $90 or $100. They get a grant to do it. They were able to do it this past year. Before anybody goes rushing out to get their CPR, you want to wait until August so that it'll last you the 2 years. And if the college is offering it again, you can take it through the college, or you can actually go somewhere else if you so choose, if you're able to find it cheaper. But if you feel more comfortable taking it at HCCC, you can do that.
Yeah, we just ask that you wait till August if you're going to do that. And I think it's a special CPR, right? Not just the regular online one?
It's, you need to go to a course where you actually have to do CPR on a mannequin or a dummy somehow. And it's also BLS for healthcare provider. It's not just regular CPR.
Correct. We just had someone ask that question. So yes, Victor, it's BLS for healthcare provider. Next slide. And then we wrap up the fees. You'll get ready as your senior year to pay for some review courses that we're offered to prepare you for the registry. That parking, travel, and tolls for clinical sites. You need to get ready for that. You'll be traveling through these different clinical sites. You'll be going over the Bayonne Bridge, is it? Over to Richmond University in Staten Island. You'll be needing money for parking, for gas. So you have to prepare for this stuff when you are coming into the program. Next slide. So the application process. We began accepting applications November of 2020 for anyone who's interested in starting the program this August. We start applications every year in November. So those who have applied will be considered for August 2021. The application deadline is coming up, March 26th. So please plan, email me if you want the application or if you want to discuss anything further, because there's a lot involved in the application process. Ms. Kenshel?
It doesn't cost you to fill out an application and send it to us. So even if you're not ready or you're not sure and you get an application in, and then over the summer or, in a few weeks you change your mind, that's okay. But you do want to get the process started.
Yes, definitely. And also, just to add on to that, you can apply to the program while you're completing your prerequisites. I know a lot of people hesitate that. They're like, well, I'm still completing my prerequisites. Can I still apply? Yes, you can still apply. We don't start the program until the last week of August. So as long as your prerequisites are done by the end of summer 2, you can apply to the program. We can accept you on the contingency that you will successfully complete those prerequisites by the end of summer 2. And Ms. Castro, one question, will we be able to send these slides?
Yes, we can. You can email Ms. Rodriguez and we could send them to you. And we have never had a student not successfully complete their prerequisites during the summer. That has already been accepted. Just so you're aware of that.
Definitely. Next slide. So you submit your radiography application packet. Those who have already submitted it, I see a few names here, know how hefty that package is. You'll be providing us with a copy of your high school diploma, verification of U.S. citizenship, like a valid government ID, official transcripts from any other colleges that you've attended. There's a technical standard form, 2 references, and a pre-interview questionnaire. That's all part of your application packet. So I'll email you all those forms. If you just send me an email and I can send you that to you. Next slide. So what are your requirements for admission? You have to have these following in order to be considered. So all of these will be taken into account when the admission committee meets to review your application. Remember, you have to have current and active health insurance. All your immunizations up to date. At that point, you'll have to have presented successful drug screening and background checks. We will let you know when to do that. No need to rush out and go get your criminal background check done on your own. Don't worry about that. Next slide, please. Remember I said minimum C grade for all your prerequisites? If you did achieve something lower than a C, then you will have to retake that course. And keep in mind that science courses, they expire after 5 years. So especially if you're transferring from a different college and it's been over 5 years, you will have to take that A&P1 and A&P2 here at Hudson. Next slide, please. I'll let Ms. Castro pick up from here. Are you muted, Ms. Castro?
I was. Okay, ethical requirements. So the AART, they provide the exam that allows you to become an X-ray tech after you go to school. And they have a certain ethics standard. So if for any reason you've maybe done something wrong in your past when you were young and foolish, okay, you can reach out to them. We would give you the information of who to actually reach out to, and you can apply and they will look at your situation, because you don't want to come into the program and then at the end, they may actually say, you cannot take the national exam. And now you've wasted 2 years. So they do have a pre-screen for people, and we've had a number of students pre-screen and they were fine. And when they go to apply for to take the national exam, they will include the letter that the AART gave them. So you can definitely take this if you've made some mistakes in your life. They'll actually reassess you before you start the program. Okay, or if say you did something while you were in the program. We had that before also, where a student, something to do, with their driver's license, and they were cleared and able to take the national exam. So don't think just because you've made a mistake in your life that this career is not open to you. It absolutely is. Okay. All right. Okay, ethical requirements. As a student, these are not things that you think about, but these are things that once you become a tech, your employer will think about, or the state will think about. As far as violations, fraud, deceptions, unprofessional conduct, scope of practice violations, meaning you're doing something that you're not certified in, patient records, and just like there's mistakes in other areas of healthcare, X-ray techs make mistakes also occasionally. Okay, but that pre-application process is it's been very successful. So again, don't feel like you're locked out of this profession or a healthcare profession just because you did something when you were younger. Okay. Kathy, would you like to take over on the T's?
Sure. So the entrance exams, we'll speak about one of them that you can opt to take, the T's entrance exam. So that is the way you create and you register for your account. Remember, that's the approximate fee they're charging, debit or credit cards only. And it's composed of math, reading, science, and English. What we look for is you can score no less than a 50 in the science section, and then no less than a 50 in the total exam. We must receive those test scores by March 26th. Next slide.
Hold on. I actually would like to comment. Those of you should try and really take the exam before this deadline.
Yeah.
Under certain circumstances, due to COVID, if you've got everything else, we might consider allowing you to take it again after this date, but all of you should really try to take it before this date.
Definitely. So how do you prepare for the TEAS exam? There's numerous ways on how you can prepare for it. There's the study manual. When you register for the exam at that link on the previous slide, it has an option for you to purchase the study manual. I think it actually dropped from 40. I went on there and I saw a one you can download for about 30. And it's also available at the Hudson County Community College Library for free. You just can't take the book out. You'll have to study there. When you go to that website that I provided previously, you can also purchase online packages and take practice tests that way. They range from about $50 to $210. There you can download the free ATIT's practice test on your app on your phone. Take practice questions that way. But I must stress that app should not be your only way to prepare for this exam, please. And we're not offering HCCC's tutoring at this moment. That was when it's available. We would have provided that as well. So you would need to study with the manual, download the app, and just take practice questions. Reach out to me if you have any questions on what else, how you can prepare for the exam. Next slide. SATs. I know a lot of people are scared. They're like, oh my God, I haven't taken that since I was in high school. No. But it actually might benefit you because there's no science. As you guys know, some people freak out about that. This is only involves math and verbal. You can take both exams. We actually encourage you to try to take both. You never know. It increases your chances of getting in the program, so why not? You'll do the research on where to take it. We provided a link there. And just Google it and how to take it, where to register. Again, we want those scores by March 26th, but as Ms. Cashel stated, if you have everything else, we may be able to wait a little bit past that for your test scores. And I don't know the price. I think it's about $58, $60 for the SATs now. Next slide.
Oh, hold on. We also understand that the SATs has been rescheduled a few times and canceled. And another thing to be aware of is that they will defer to high school students before people out of high school. So if a high school student signs up they may or may not get your seat, or you may have to go to another area. If you have scheduled and they cancel you and it's because they need the seat for a high school student, reach out to us. Miss Rodriguez was able to help two students 2 years ago with this similar situation where they were bumped because they were over 18. Okay.
Oh, another thing I wanted to say is a lot of applicants who I'm speaking to are afraid to take the test right now because they feel they're not ready. Just remember, the longer you wait to register for this test, the smaller your chances get of a seat being available. So just register for it. I think right now the dates are pushed out to March 16th anyway. So at least secure your seat and start studying now. Don't wait until you say, okay, I'm ready to take the test, and now there's no seats. So don't wait on registering for the test. So what
And
happens after you? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, take either test. Don't
Yeah.
lock yourself in if possible, and take the TEAS test. If you don't pass it, then at least you know where your weaknesses are and you could focus on that and retake it.
Speaking of retaking it, right now that you can take the TEAS, it's unlimited amount of time. So why don't you register for both? If God forbid you don't do well on the TEAS, then you have your SAT seat that you're still taking, and you can register again for the TEAS. Take it as many times as they offer it, as you can get registered. That's not a problem. So we will receive your scores, or you can send them to us, which is probably the easiest way. And then once we receive a successful score, we will let you know the next step, which is a background check. We will tell you where to go and how to begin that step. If you're unsuccessful, then we'll just encourage you to retake the exam before the deadline date. What happens after I complete my background check? After you complete your background check, we will have a interview session with the admissions committee, but due to COVID right now, we're not sure if we'll be doing that virtually or in person. So those of you, I know I've had a few people pass the exams already. We will let you know what we're doing with the interview process. Next slide. So what happens after I've been accepted? This is very important, especially for those who are past the step of passing the entrance exam. As soon as you're notified that you've been accepted, there is a $500 seat deposit. It gets credited towards your tuition. It's due 3 weeks after notification of acceptance into the program. Okay, so we will contact you. From the moment we contact you, you've been accepted, you have 3 weeks to deposit $500 to the bursar's office, and we will let you know how to do that. So don't worry about that. But that is very important. If you want us to hold your seat, it is a $500 seat deposit. Do you need to add anything to that, Ms. Cashel? Okay, next slide. And the end. So that's my email address. That's my phone number. Please email me if you want to set up a phone call. We can have a phone call. If you want to set up to come in, we can safely schedule that. Whatever you want to do, we're here to help you. So that's our information. Ms. Cashel, I believe, was trying to record this session. She may be able to send it out to you guys. I will. I'll send you the slides, whatever you guys need.